Okay, you guys, welcome again. So now here is 10.6. So now we're really going to find the surface area of a prism. So we're going to talk just about prisms for today. Your other lesson was an intro for everything. So today is just about prisms. All right, let's just recall for a prism, like what distinguishes it. You have two parallel and congruent bases. You remember the bases are what define what type of prism it is. And we all know that our lateral faces are called rectangles. Okay, so you definitely want to see these problems. It'll be good view or good idea of how to do them. So the lateral area, we all know, is the area of all the lateral faces. So everything but the base, while surface area is everything. So let's just have an idea of how to do how to find lateral area more easily than calculating each area of each lateral face and adding them up, because it takes some time. There's an actual formula. So I'm going to actually show you the formula and how it's derived. So I'm going to draw a hexagonal prism. So that one goes here, that one goes here, that one goes here, that one goes here. There we go. There's your hexagonal prism-ish. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to label each one of these sides A, B, C, D, E, and F. And then I'm going to label the height of the prism, remember the lateral edge, as just H. So if I wanted to calculate the lateral area like we talked about yesterday, or in yesterday's lesson, wouldn't I want to find the area of all 6 of these rectangles? And all 6 of them, it would look something like this. Okay, A times H plus B times H plus C times H plus D times H plus E H plus F times H, correct? Makes sense. Add up all the areas. Well, watch what happens. If I take out the H from everybody, I get B, C, D, E, F. All right. And then what another way to tell me, like instead of writing A, B, C, D, E, F, another way, if I take this plus this plus this plus this, is another way of you guys doing that, is you guys are technically finding the perimeter. We'll say perimeter of the base. Well, there you go. We just figured out your formula. So very important. Here's your formula. To find LA, which stands for lateral area, you're going to take P times H. So P stands for the perimeter of your base, and H stands for the height or the altitude of the prism. This is where some people lose it. It's what connects the two bases. And that's your main idea. And then surface area, well, surface area we all know is the area of all surfaces. All, we'll say, faces plus, well, we're just talking about prism, so we'll say the two bases. So what we're going to do is, if you find the lateral area of all the faces, faces was this formula, so we're going to take P times H plus 2 times B. Here is your surface area formula, and let's just review the concepts. P stands for perimeter of base, H height of prism, and B is, this one's the big one, is the area of the base. So depending on what the base is, if it's a triangle, you use the area of a triangle. If it's a hexagon, you use hexagon, and so forth. Okay, so let's do a few examples. Let's have you guys, just make sure you understand that. And then we have a bunch of examples just to look at so you guys can understand the problem. All right, so for the first one, The problem wants to know how much area will she need to cover the rectangular faces. In other words, the faces, they're being asked, or you're being asked for your lateral area. We're going to do both. We're going to find, let's do it in this color, the lateral area, and then we're going to find surface area. Just for this one, from now on, I'm gonna have us just do surface area because it should make sense. If you can do surface area, you can do lateral area. I do recommend you guys always writing your formulas, P times H. Okay, so the height, again, is the height that connects the two faces. If here is, I'm sorry, your bases. If here is bases, this 12 is my height. So I have 12. And then easy, perimeter, 5, 12, 13. You just add all of this up. So here's the base. You're just adding them up, and it's 30. So your lateral area is 360, we'll say, inches squared. It's that simple for this. Surface area, let's write our formula. pH plus 2b. Very important, as always, like I stressed to you, to write that heading. So we know the pH, which is the lateral area, which is 360 plus, well, we have 2. The base, again, the fact that we have a right triangle makes our life very easy. So 5 is a base, we could say, and 12 is the height, or vice versa, but we have our numbers. So we have 1/2, 12 times 5. Yes, you can think those cancel, so 360 plus 60 is your surface area is 420 inches squared. Done. Okay. All right, let's take a look at number 2. All right, so I just want surface area for these because, I mean, if you can do lateral, you can do surface. Actually, that was wrong. If you can do surface, you can do lateral. So let's write our formula. Surface area, again, pH plus 2b. Please go like this in your picture. So this way you guys know that the faces are rectangles or squares. So we all know this is a hexagon because here is my base and the top and the bottom. So first we want to find the perimeter, and then we want to find the height. All right, so let's take out that. Actually, look, if this is 6, we know this is 6. So that means all of these are 6. So all the sides of the hexagon are 6, and then you have 6 of them. So your perimeter for the hexagon is 36. Because this is a square, we also know that this height is 6. So we have 36 times 6 plus 2. Okay, my base is a hexagon. Hopefully you remember your formula that we just learned for area of a hexagon or polygon. It is 1/2 apothem perimeter. Wait, I don't know where that H came from. Wow. That was weird. Okay, so please make sure you guys recall that. So we would do 1/2. We don't know let's find the apothem in a moment. Let's put our perimeter in the problem. The perimeter of the base is 36. Okay, I'm gonna take out that triangle for us to work with. We wanna find our apothem. So we know this is 6, we know this is 6. Again, if you're in case you're running and pulling out that triangle, here is your apothem. That's what we're looking for. If you guys recall one more time, each little angle up here is 30, 60. So 60 is across from the 2. We all know this would be 3. So your apothem is 3 rad 3, and that is what we were looking to find. So 1/2, 3 rad 3, that was pretty bad, times 36. 1/2 apothem perimeter. Please don't forget the formula for area of a polygon. Let's leave this one. Let's say for this one I wanted the exact. If you guys remember, exact, you do not round. You give me all of the radicals. So this is 216. These can cancel. 3 times 36, 108 rad 3. This is your surface area. Obviously, if I just asked you lateral, that would be your answer. Okay, let's try another one. So I just want us to do surface area. So, oops, let's stick with the same kind of colors. pH plus 2b. And let's write ourselves a note. What is the base? We should all agree that this is the base. It is a trapezoid. Oops, trapezoid. Okay, remember the biggest thing is this P is of the base. So you have to understand, I know this picture looks weird because the base is kind of like on the side, but this is our base. That's what makes this one hard. So I'll just star this one because the base, again, is classified as what are the two things that classified, and it's a trapezoid. All of these other faces are rectangles. So we have 3.7 plus 4. This is being marked. So here's another 4, and these are also marked. So this would be 7. So add 3.7, 4, 4, and 7. Oh my God. Nope, I lied. Sorry, 3.7, my fault, is being referred to as the height. That's 3.7. If this is 4, sorry, this is 4. That made no sense. So I'm just going to write this note. 3.7 is your height of the trapezoid. So 4, 4, 7, 4. When you add them all around, you get 19 times the height of the prism. This is where people will make this mistake. It's the height of the prism. The height of the prism is what connects the two faces. Bases. At least I can write, I can't speak. A lot of people want to say that that's the height. That is the height of the base. I don't care about that. This has to be the height of the prism. And it's what connects the two bases. This is our height. Very important. Think about it. It's what's connecting the two trapezoids. So this is your 6. That is where some people might make the mistake. Be aware of that. Plus 2. All right. We got our formula for a trapezoid. We got 1/2. The height of the trapezoid is 3.7 times the sum of my bases is 4 and 7, which is 11. If you put this all in the calculator, here's what you should get. So let me just give you guys like 30 seconds to look at that, observe it. Please recall this is extremely important. If this is where you guys make a mistake, it's that number. So look at that for 1 second. See if you guys understand it. All right, let's take a look at our next one. So we're going to pick up the pace. Hopefully my pace wasn't going too fast. So we have surface area. Let's write that formula. pH plus 2b. Always keep that as your heading. And why don't we write the shape of the hexagon? The shape, so it's a hexagon. Perimeter, again, of the base. It's a regular. You're only going to have regular hexagons. So we have 8. 8 times 6, we have 48. This is your height. Plus 2. All right, let's write it in. 1/2. We need our apothem. And our perimeter, well, the perimeter we already figured out is 48. Let's go ahead and find our apothem. Okay, so I'm going to draw this in the picture. And I'm going to take the triangle out so you guys can see it. So we all know that that is 8, and we want half of it. So this is our 4. So I'm going to put that there. Same thing you guys did in the problem above. You should start picking up. Again, this is your 30. This is your 60 when you guys are doing a hexagon. So we want to figure out what this is. So you're just moving here. So this is your 4 rad 3. There you go. You know your apothem. Put it all in the calculator. Let's find it again as exact. You would multiply this. You can cancel that, so you can add that, multiply that. So surface area. So it was extremely important that you guys recall how to find, again, the apothem, how to find the area of a polygon. Same thing, just do your perimeter times the height. Make sure you guys get the right height. And then you guys are doing the area of the polygon, which you already learned for the past week. Just a few more problems. Again, it's just so you guys fully have an understanding because I'm not with you. Hopefully this makes somewhat of sense. All right, so let's take a look at this problem. It says you have a rectangular prism. Now we have some words. With the surface area, so now I'm telling you the surface area is 82, and I say the base and you want to find the height. Well, why don't we draw a visual so you guys can see something? You all know I'm big on visuals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend, because again, a rectangular prism is a little trickier. I am going to pretend that this right here is my base. If you can kind of see, it's hard because it's visual. So I'm going to do the bottom as my base, and it says the base is 7 by 2. And then I'm going to say this is my height, and I don't know what that is, so I'm going to label it X. And I know my surface area is 82. Well, we're working backwards. Anytime you want to find a missing measurement, you want to work backwards. So we always should write our formula. Okay, perimeter. Perimeter, again, is the perimeter of the base. I know my base. This bottom guy is the base. 7, 7, 2, 2. Perimeter is 14. Height, I don't know. Let's put an X plus 2. Well, we know the area of a rectangle is length times width. So 7 times 2. And we know the surface area is 82. So you obviously do your algebra, and you're going to get X equals 3. So here is your length of your height. Okay, hopefully that should be pretty simple. Just looking. All right, let's take a look at the next one. So it says we're almost done. The top and the sides of the cake are shown. How much frosting is going to be needed? So you have to make sure you guys are reading. If you're covering something, it means surface area. Great. But think with common sense. When you're doing this, are you covering the bottom? No. I mean, that'd be a really interesting cake. It'd be yummy, but you can't cover the bottom. So your surface area is, again, your perimeter times your height, plus here is the key, one base, because you are not covering the bottom. And then we can just sub our numbers in. So we have a 12, 9, 12, and 9 for your base, which gives me 42 for the perimeter. 2 is my height, plus 1 base of 108. You're just doing 112 times 9. And here is your answer. Okay. All right, I'm just going to do 2 more with you. I'm not going to do this one. I think you guys understand how to do rectangular prism. It would be just the same thing as we kind of did here and kind of did here, except you have 2 bases. I am just going to show you these 2, and then you guys are done. Okay, so I want surface area, so let's do it. Let's write our formula. pH plus 2b. Okay, so perimeter, understand the shaded, these guys are the bases. Why? Well, because they're the ones that are 2, everything else is a rectangle, so we have a triangular prism. So we have a 10 here, we have a 12. If this is 10, that is 10. So we have 10, 10, and 12. So our perimeter is 32. This right here is the H. It's the height of the prism. So we got times 20 plus 2. All right, let's put our formula in 1/2. So if you guys realize for this one, it's not a right triangle, so we can't do the legs. So what we're going to have to do is I'm going to draw it right here for you all. We have to find our height. 10, 10, 12. Well, we know the 12 is our base. Let's draw the height. It's an isosceles triangle, so we know it bisects. So this is 6. If you guys know your Pythagorean triple, otherwise you guys would have to do Pythagorean theorem, you would tell me 8. So there you guys go. You now found me your height. So 1/2 base is 12 times your height, which is 8. Put it all in the calculator. Yes, you guys can cancel that. And your answer is going to be okay. Stare at that for a second. And then let's do our very last problem. Okay. We all know that these are the ones that are the crappier ones because they are going to require you to do what since it's a hexagon and you want to find the area of the hexagon? Yep, trig. Okay, so we have surface area, PH plus 2B. So this is a good review for your finding out the area of a pentagon. Okay, perimeter, we have 4.5, and we have it 5 times. So 4.5 times 5 is 22.5. That's your perimeter. Here is your height. Pretty simple so far. Very helpful. 2 times, I like to do 1/2. Put in the numbers you know. Since we know our perimeter, let's just put it in. That's the number we want to find. All right, so let's do what we always do. We are doing, you know, this, this, and this. I probably should have just done to the bottom, but that's okay. So I'm going to take that blue triangle and just put it right here, 90 degrees. We all know that this, if the whole side is 4.5 of the pentagon, we want half of that, so it is 2.25. Again, it would be this full triangle. Just so you guys can see, I'm taking the triangle out so you guys can see. To find the angle, one more time, last time I'm doing this, 360 divided by 5 is 72 divided by 2. We know it's 36. You want to find your apothem. Opposite adjacent. So we have tan 36 equals the opposite side over adjacent. When you guys cross multiply, you're going to get, first of all, you should realize if x is in the denominator, we are going to have to do dividing. You should know how to cross multiply. I reviewed this with you guys before. You should get 3.0968 something something. Key, do not round this number. Don't even take 4 decimals. You want all of them. So at this point, since you have your calculators, I'll write it in so you guys aren't lost. Since you guys have your calculators, take this number that's right in your calculator